It's Lexi. Hope you all are having a wonderful day so far. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with me here. Today, for our second video, I figured that it would be a fun idea to do a little get to know me tag. We reviewed the Spotify Wrapped playlist last time, but I was actually trying to find some get to know me tags, for music or bands specifically, and I couldn't find one. So if y'all know of one, feel free, shoot it over. I'd love to do one for you guys. But today I actually found, while I was scrolling on Instagram, as you do, for my other account, I found a little reel that somebody had done that was, a get to know me bands edition. And I was like, well, how fucking perfect is that? So I pulled the list here. So I've got it here in front of me and we'll go through it. I believe it's 9 questions. So we'll kind of do a little bit of an explanation with each one if it's necessary, and we'll get into it. So stick around. All right. So first question is, most recently listened to. So I'm actually going to pull up Spotify here on my phone, so there's no cheating. It looks like what was last playing is Machine Head, Locust. So there you have it, which is actually a little bit surprising because I don't usually listen to Machine Head. I know my dad likes Machine Head. It's not that I don't like Machine Head, I just haven't really gotten into it. So if y'all are big fans, let me know. I'd love to hear it. If you guys have specific albums or songs that you really like from them that you want me to take a listen to, let me know. Usually I just kind of end up listening to them if they're on, another playlist that I'm listening to or something like that. So the next question is the first band that I fell in love with. So it's kind of a toss-up. Kind of. I remember being a little kid and being in the car with my dad and him listening to, various rock music, which is probably part of the reason why I like rock so much. But I remember listening to Tool. I remember listening to Shinedown, obviously. So I think probably the very first band that I ever actually fell in love with is Shinedown. Very close second with Coheed and Cambria. So the two are pretty synonymous in my head. But I know I said during the last video that Shinedown is my favorite band. It's a very close second with Coheed and Cambria. Claudio, man, I've seen Shinedown 8 times in concert. So yeah, safe to say they're probably my favorite band. It's definitely the band that I've seen the most. But then I have seen Coheed twice in concert, and every time it is a just masterpiece. I mean, they put on a show. If you've never seen them before, so good. Definitely would argue neither one of those bands are metal or anything like that or heavy rock, but they're still in the rock genre, so I count them. But yeah, Claudio is just an absolute wizard when it comes to music. And then, obviously his comics too. If you've never read the Amory Wars, if you've never read those comics, some fan I am, right? But if you've never read the comics, highly recommend. I'm actually going back and rereading them right now. I read them when I was in college, so always a good time. Always fun to, listen to the music and then read the comics while you're doing it. So just kind of fun stuff there. All right. So third question is the band that I recently found and I love. So this one's kind of interesting. So I actually have been listening to, and again, I'm pulling up Spotify, but I've recently been listening to Bad Omens. Now, I've been listening to Bad Omens for a bit, but I didn't really realize that I was listening to Bad Omens for a bit. Does anybody else do that? You've got a playlist on Spotify that you're just kind of listening to, and then just music shows up and you're just kind of listening to it. You're not really sure who or what it is, but you really like it. Yeah, I do that a lot. So then I find out, oh, it was that. So, obviously Just Pretend is blowing up right now. So with that, I was like, oh man, maybe I should check out this band, and then come to realize I've actually been listening to them for a little bit. So I, I would actually say that Dayseeker is probably the band that I found, like actually found the most recently, because I don't really know if you want to count Bad Omens, but Dayseeker I recently found. What a cool little quirky band. They're definitely very different. They're kind of coming up with, I know they just released Dark Sun, and then they had Sleep Talk, I think was the album. I know that's my favorite song from the album, but I think that's the album name is Sleep Talk. And these guys are awesome. If you've never listened to Dayseeker, I'll put some stuff over here for y'all. So you guys can, take a look, check them out. One of my friends, actually Nikki, she introduced them to me, inadvertently through posting about them on her social media. So of course I had to go and listen, and they're really cool. If you guys enjoy bands that kind of do a little bit of like a different, they have a different sound, they blend kind of like, I wouldn't say EDM, but like almost house rock, sort of techno stuff with rock. These guys are great. Really awesome lyrics, really awesome storytelling. So if that sounds like your jam, take a listen and let me know what you guys think. Do you guys listen to Dayseeker? Am I the only person out there? Sometimes it feels like that. Sometimes I'll mention it to people, and people just kind of look at me like, "Wait, what? Who's that?" I'm like, oh, you gotta listen, man. They're great. So, are there any other people who listen to Dayseeker? Because they're great. I love them. So, if you haven't listened to them, take a listen. I'm sure you're gonna like them. Most underrated band. Dang, this one's hard. So obviously not now, because they're gaining in popularity quite a bit, which thank God they are, because he has deserved it forever. I'm talking like from Escape the Fate days, but Falling in Reverse, Ronnie Radke, talked about him before. I cannot hype this band up enough, y'all. I love them to bits. I just absolutely adore them. Everything that they do is just gold, in my opinion. The whole kind of like revamp that they're doing with the sound right now, they've always been very different in the industry, and I think it's taken a while for people to actually like see the genius of Ronnie Radke, but he is absolutely just mind-blowing with his lyrics, his sound, everything that he comes up with. He's just an actual like genius. Like that's all that I can say about it. So has been underrated for quite some time, but thankfully now, especially with the new music that I believe they're probably going to be coming out with towards the beginning of this next year, super stoked to see them, super excited for them. I'm really excited. So I would say that's probably the most underrated band that I really enjoy. Band that gets me hyped. Dang. I would say Beartooth probably. Their new stuff is really different, which I know I said in the last video that I really appreciate, which I do. But it's really different. I actually really like it though, for the same reason that I like stuff like Dayseeker. I really enjoy bands that are just kind of trying different things, new stuff, new sounds, trying to mesh and meld two different genres together. It's one of the main reasons why I like Falling in Reverse so much. But yeah, Beartooth, I love them. They are a band that one of my roommates in college turned me on to. He really liked them. He really enjoyed them and showed me a couple of their, songs. Back then, they really had just started out. They had just they were getting started. Since then, they've released so many albums that are just fire. They're gold, honestly. And now too, even, they're taking this kind of, like emo music thing that they had going on for a while, this emo shtick that they had going on, and they're really kind of like turning a page. The lead singer Caleb, he's doing awesome. He seems like he's really loving life right now. So who am I to say no? You gotta keep playing the sad, depressed emo rock all the time. nah, not here for it. So excited to see what they're coming up with. I know that I saw a couple of things from them when they were at Rockfest over the summer, and I know they said that the album's done. We're just waiting to see where it is when it's going to be released. So we'll see when that comes out. Again, looking forward to that. So yeah, I would say the band that gets me hyped. I don't know why that's a tongue twister for me, but the band that gets me hyped is probably Beartooth. The band that I listen to when I'm angry. I was actually listening to music earlier today as I was getting ready, and Five Finger Death Punch came on. Yeah, that's probably the band that I listen to the most when I'm angry. Also close tie with Godsmack, but especially right now, I feel like Godsmack is kind of mellowing out, so to say. Feels like they've kind of been doing that for the last few years. So I would say, like, the band that still I will go to every time when I'm angry or just need to, feel like I gotta get some energy out and punch something or break shit, it's probably Five Finger Death Punch. I have seen them twice in concert. They're great. I love them. Honestly, dare I say underrated. I think a lot of people pass them up because, people love to hate everybody, but especially, that band. Ivan Moody, I think, is a lyrical and musical genius as well. I think, if you really listen to the music and you really actually listen to the story that he's telling and that the band is telling, I think it really, is something to behold, in my opinion. But, who am I to say? So, I may actually say that that's my most underrated band, but I don't know. I also, like I said, I listen to them all the time when I'm angry and just want to break shit. So, yeah. Let's see. So, band I love seeing in concert. Dang. So, pre-Panini, I actually used to spend all of my money on concerts. My girlfriend Erin and I, it's pretty much all we did was just go to all sorts of different concerts all over the place. We'd drive like to Utah. We'd go all over the place. We live in Colorado. So, it's always a good time. Denver's usually got something going on all the time. Like I mentioned before, Shinedown, I've seen the most in concert for sure. But I think either Motionless in White or Ice Nine Kills. Those are really awesome concerts. Although, too, Godsmack, I really love when they do, like, Sully does the drum solos with it, it's great. It's just a good time. So that's fun, too. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I have seen a lot of concerts. I've been very fortunate in that. So I don't know. That's tough. I think I'm going to say Ice Nine Kills. Yeah. I'm doing it. I'm throwing down the gauntlet. Dang it. I think that's probably the band that I love seeing the most in concert. They are just so cool. They have the greatest stage presence. Coolest songs too. I mean, something that you got to know about me too is that I love Halloween. My birthday's on October 28th, so I had no choice in the matter. I love Halloween. It's Halloween all year in my house. So, for me, that band, like covering horror movies and just kind of, leaning into that kind of spirit, I guess, is awesome. Same or similar reasoning that I like Motionless in White as well, because they always love Halloween and they're always doing stuff spooky and fantastic. So, yeah. Really, really enjoy that. I think I'm gonna go with Ice Nine Kills. I feel like there's another band out there somewhere that I should say instead, but I'm gonna go with those guys because they're awesome. I saw them earlier this year in March, I think on the second Trinity of Terror tour. I think it was the second one, or maybe it was the first one. I don't know. I think it was the first one. We saw them in Grand Junction, and they were so good. The whole lineup was just amazing. it was really sad because Chris from Motionless ended up getting sick, so we weren't able to see them, but we had actually coincidentally had just seen Motionless in White like a couple of months previous, so it was okay. I was still really sad about it, but we got to see Ice Nine and Black Veil Brides, so that was always a good time because I hadn't seen Black Veil Brides yet, so awesome. Want to see but haven't, so surprisingly, and this feels almost like a cop-out because I've already mentioned them before, I think for underrated, but Fallen in Reverse. I have not yet seen them in concert. I just, I'm like reduced to non-words at this point because I just want to see them so badly. Oh man, I just want to see them really badly. I've heard that they put on like an epic show. So hopefully we'll be able to see them here soon at some point. I know they're going to be around in this area. I think they're actually going to be in Colorado Springs. So hopefully I'm going to be able to go see them. Really looking forward to that, but we'll see. All right. And then the last question is what band I could listen to forever? I'm actually trying to think about that because I feel like this year I ended up listening to like the same 3 or 4 bands constantly. And I know that that was kind of in my Spotify Wrapped, but it was a little odd too because it feels like from what I know that I was listening to, I'm not really sure if that was 100% correct, but yeah, this feels like it's the same 5 or 6 bands, but really right now it's honest, it's genuine because that's what I'm listening to right now. It's just kind of what's been on. But I think probably, you know what though? So Tool. I think I'm going to say Tool because their catalog is so diverse. And I mean, you know, with songs coming in at like 8 to 10, 12 minutes, I mean, who doesn't love Tool? Yeah, I really like Tool a lot. So I'd say probably Tool. Usually if I'm at a loss for what to listen to, I usually throw them on. It's always a good time. So, so that is all 9 Get to Know Me songs. I hope that you got to know me a little bit more. I hope that you learned a little more about me, although it really does feel like almost the exact same video as the Spotify Wrapped because I ended up talking about pretty much the exact same bands. But, you know, just, yeah, I guess, you know, like I said, I guess that's just kind of where we're at right now. I do have a Lamb of God t-shirt on, so really enjoy them too. So there's that. I'll try and see real quick too if like there's anything on Spotify for just kind of quick hitters. Rob Zombie, love Rob Zombie. It's a great time. Korn, love Korn. I actually really like Ghost. Not their new stuff, their old stuff. Their new stuff is weird. I don't really know if I like it. So there's that. Let's see. I Prevail. Awesome. Yeah, love those guys. Y'all know Bring Me the Horizon. Good stuff. Hailstorm. Gemini Syndrome. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go back and recast for underrated as Gemini Syndrome because I feel like nobody talks about that band ever. I very rarely hear people talk about them. I love them. They came out with new music last year. Yeah, last year with Third Degree, The Raising. I mean, even on Spotify, they only have like 283,000 listeners. I love Gemini Syndrome. I feel like there is a very small niche market out there for them, but I really like Gemini Syndrome. So yeah, I'm gonna actually go back and revise the underrated category for Gemini Syndrome, and then we'll put Fallen in Reverse under their rightful category as the band that I haven't seen yet that I really want to. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. But yeah, hopefully that kind of gives you guys a little more taste of what I like to listen to. that's stuff that I really like to listen to all the time. I also really, really enjoy, older rock, 80s, metal, hair metal, actual metal. Um, love Iron Maiden, really like old school Metallica, um, Slayer, Anthrax, like pretty much all the good ones from back in the day. Both my parents are fairly young, so I feel like it's one of those things, like we're only 20 years apart in age, so because of that, like I feel like a lot of influence from my parents, because we used to be old rockers. I feel like a lot of that rubbed off on me, and I ended up getting a lot of similar music taste to them. So that's a lot of what my music taste is. So needless to say, it kind of runs the gamut. Like I said, I hope that helps you get to know me a little bit better. As we said the other day in the last video, if y'all have anything that you want me to react to or comment on, or if there's any questions that you guys have for me, love to do like a question video, get to know me a little bit more, something like that. Probably for our next video, we'll be diving into the Slipknot album. I don't know. I started listening to it the other day. We'll see. I'm not sure yet how to feel about it, but it deserves another listen. So I will be listening to it again, and then we'll probably talk about it during our next video. So stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, share it with your family, whatever feels good to you. If you enjoy these, if you enjoy these types of videos, and if you enjoy this content, let me know. I'd love to hear it. With that, rock on.